To losing body fat is being on the go. So what I want to do here in this video is help you with being able to travel but still hit your fat loss goals. So I got some restaurants, some of the most popular fast food, quick food options for you to still get good food to keep you on track to hitting your fat loss goals. For those of you that don't know, my name is Coach Vince Turbrack. I've been coaching for over 15 years. I help busy dads lose body fat, get their energy back so they can have better careers, more focused, more productive working. Then they can come home and be great husbands, super passionate, love with their significant other, and of course, great dads, patience, guidance, teaching, and of course, playing. So with that being said, is all of the meals that I help my dads with, the majority of them have to be on the go because the dad's super busy schedule. A lot of the meal plans we come up with are quick, convenient, delicious, and most importantly, allow them to hit their fat loss goals, but also still be able to include their favorite foods. I'll show you exactly how to do that here with this travel menu. So let's break this down. So what I did is I broke down the three pretty popular restaurants: Jimmy John's, Chipotle, and Chick-fil-A. If you're traveling to any major city, most of them will have one of these, if not all three of them. And then I do have 11 other restaurants in this fast food hack guide that we'll break down as well, give you plenty of options to hit your goals. So with the Jimmy John's side of things, they offer an unwich style, which is getting rid of the bread and just putting their meat and toppings into just a piece of or a wrapping of lettuce. So obviously takes down the calories pretty dramatically. All these blue links are clickable links, and I'll show you how we can use those. So Jimmy John's, with their link here, is it breaks down their exact calories and macros for everything that they have on the menu. So super helpful to better understand exactly how to build out a meal plan that works for you. But don't worry, I took care of the majority of that for you. So I gave you 5 options here. You'll order all these in an unwich style. I broke them all down into what I call the pro-cal ratio. So the pro-cal ratio stands for protein to calorie. It's the most amount of protein for the least amount of calories. There's tons of benefits to eating a high protein to calorie ratio diet. One of them being it saves you tons of calories to be able to always include your favorite foods or drinks. And if we're able to include our favorite foods and drinks while losing body fat, it just turns this more into a lifestyle than a 30-day crash course. So that's why one of the reasons I'm such a big fan of a high pro-cal ratio. So you'll see this listed throughout. So this slim number 4 ordered unwich style comes in at 200% pro-cal ratio. Anything above 75% is really good. So this is killer coming in at 200%. I have another video on the YouTube channel here breaking down the whole pro-cal ratio. So I'll link that in the comments if you want to learn more about that. So this slim number 4 comes in at 14 grams of protein for only 70 calories. So you could order multiple of these because most likely than not, our meals are probably going to be around 500 calories per meal. So man, you could have 4 or 5 of these to hit your 500 calorie mark and still have some room on the side to throw in a bag of chips or something else as well. So that's Jimmy John's. Let's go through Chick-fil-A. So I have 8 different meal options ranked from highest pro-cal ratio down. And I created a Chick-fil-A guide. So if you just click on the blue link, you'll open up the Chick-fil-A guide, and here breaks down. So this is meal 1 of 8. And so it goes all the way down through meal 8 of 8. So this is the one that has the highest protein to calorie ratio. It's a market salad with a grilled filet and light Italian dressing with 5 grilled nuggets on the side, coming in at a whopping 48 grams of protein, 445 calories. But you got a bunch of different options here. So that's the Chick-fil-A side of things. And then Chipotle, what I've included here is a breakdown of the chicken, the fajitas, the black beans, the salsa, the guacamole, the brown rice, their calories and their macro breakdown. So what I did is I created 3 different meals for you here. Meal number 1 is the highest protein to calorie ratio, coming in at 67 grams of protein for only 435 calories. It would be double chicken, double fajita with veggies and salsa. Meal number 2, we would include some black beans. We'd get some brown rice in there. Meal number 3 here is 86% pro-cal ratio. We'd get rid of the rice and throw in some guacamole. That the reason by either having the brown rice or having the guacamole, one or the other, just allows us to stay above 75% on our protein to calorie ratio. So those are 3 great fast food options in the fast food hack guide. What I did is I broke down 11 restaurants for you, their highest protein to calorie ratio food option on the menu. Now, remember, the goal is 75% or higher. So as you can see, Starbucks, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King don't quite hit that 75% mark. So I'm not saying not to eat there, but man, it's tough to get good food there, especially in a high protein to calorie ratio. So, if you do go for the double quarter pounder, possibly taking off a couple of pieces of the bread will definitely help that ratio out. The winner at 180% is Chick-fil-A, getting the 12 grilled nuggets, whopping 38 grams of protein for only 210 calories. So you can use this as a guide as well. So let's actually put some application to this and break it down a little bit more for you. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how many calories you need to eat in order to lose body fat. So what we do is we take your body weight and we multiply it by a factor of 8 to 12 to better understand your fat loss calories. So we can multiply it by 8, by 9, by 10, 11, or 12. The more muscle mass and active you are, the more likely you're going to be closer to a factor of 12. Therefore, then, the less muscle mass and less active you are, the more likely you'll be a factor of 8. So let's break this down. 230-pound male, low muscle mass, low activity level. Goal is to drop body fat, aka lose body fat, build muscle. So what we're going to do is take your body weight, multiply it by 8. That gives this guy about 2,070 calories. Now, the goal when wanting to improve body composition, remember, your goal is not to lose weight, because the goal isn't to get to 0 on the scale. The goal is to improve body composition, and body composition is exactly this: lose fat and build muscle. That's what we're after here. And this having muscle mass, as we can already see, having this muscle mass plays a big role in your metabolism and how much food you're able to eat. And if you have more buffer with being able to have a higher metabolism, aka more food you can eat without gaining fat, the easier it is to keep fat off long term. And muscle is going to play the biggest role in that. So we want to preserve muscle mass. We want to build muscle mass. We don't have to become Hercules or Hulk Hogan, but certainly we want to keep it a priority. So the goal when wanting to improve body composition is always to feed you the most amount of food possible, not the least amount. Unfortunately, when people decide they want to lose weight, they want to lose it quickly. Therefore, they slash their calories down to nothing. And they end up quitting the diet because it's just unsustainable, eating almost nothing. Or they end up losing a crap ton of weight really quickly, but unfortunately lost a lot of muscle mass along the way. So therefore, once they start eating regular again, they gain the weight all back. So what we want to focus on is the core 4 when it comes to nutritional guidelines for improving body composition. Calories, as I mentioned, we need to have them low enough to lose body fat, but high enough to prevent muscle mass loss. So that's where we're going to use the factor of 8 to 12. Protein, we want to have a 75% or a higher pro-cal ratio. This ensures we have muscle growth, and it helps with satiety and blood sugar control. Then we want to focus on food volume. So about 800 grams of fruits and veggies daily, preferably around 600 of those grams will come from veggies. About 200 of those grams will come from fruit. This will ensure we're getting adequate fiber, proper vitamin and mineral intake, and also controlling our blood sugar. So the protein and the food volume, while also eating the appropriate amount of calories, all 3 of these combined are going to do such a great job with cravings and controlling that blood sugar. And then last but not least is we want to save room for fun. So when I'm helping my busy dads, they're always on the go, got crazy stuff going on with their busy schedules, is I want to be able to include, how do we have pizza night? How do we have date night? How do we deal with traveling? We need to make sure that we're able to save calories for favorite foods, or just events that we have coming up, or drinks, whatever it is that you enjoy. So whether that's every day, every week, every month, we'll do that through what we call calorie cycling. I'm not going to dive into that on this video, but just know that the goal is to have plenty of room for fun. So breaking down the meals for this traveling guy who's 230 pounds and has about 2,000 calories to work with. Meal number one, we're going to make it about 500 calories. So whether you're driving and traveling or need to get on a plane to travel, protein's just an easy to travel with. Fruit, we could have fresh fruit or dried fruit, regardless whether it's fresh or dried. About a serving is going to come in at about 100 calories. And then a bag of nuts, whether that be peanuts, cashews, pecans, macadamia, and Brazil nuts. The list is endless. Typically, a serving of nuts is about 200 calories. So in total, this meal is really easy to travel with. Give us about 500 calories and about 50 grams of protein. Meal number two, when we go out to lunch, that's where we're going to use the list above. So the Chick-fil-A and the Chipotle meals are right around that 400 or 500 calorie mark. So I would just pick one of those meals. If you go with Jimmy John's, you could do something like 3 of the Slim 4s, which would give you 210 calories and about 45 grams of protein. And you could get a bag of chips on the side with that as well, or get another 1 or 2 of the Slim 4s to just increase the calories and increase the protein that much more. But you really have some flexibility when you go super high pro-cal ratio on allowing that bag of chips with no issues as far as the fat loss side of things go. Then that brings us down to dinner. So whether you're going out with colleagues, or you're on business, or you're pitching to other business, or with having meetings, you could have 1,000 calories at the steakhouse. Get a 6-ounce steak, get a plain baked potatoes, some veggies. That's about 800 calories, leaving you about 200 calories for a small dessert, a beer, a glass of wine, a couple of shots of liquor. And just remember that this is at the lowest end. Thank God most guys aren't at this end. I mean, if you're a 230-pound guy and you have some decent muscle mass and you're really active, your calories could be as high as 2,700, 2,800, therefore leaving you a ton of extra room to be more playful. You could get some fries with this. You could definitely have a couple of drinks or a bigger dessert. So plenty of room. The more active, the more muscle mass you have. But hopefully this helps break things down in a way where you can have your cake and eat it too, and make things a bit simpler when you're traveling and on the go. If you need help with the meal plan, this is just merely the tip of the iceberg. If you need help with on the go, more practical food ideas that allow you to hit your fat loss goals that still taste delicious but are super convenient, I'll link this document below. If you want help with more of a detailed meal plan for you, I'll put my call link below as well. Set up a 15-minute call. Let me just learn a little bit more about you. I'll customize a plan for you. No cost, totally for free, here to help. I'll also link below my Facebook group. It's called Dadletic. If you're interested in joining that, I do trainings here all the time to help. All right, now it's time to go do the work. Hope this helps.